All right, so what's going on, guys? Today we're checking out the Sennheiser Momentum True Wireless 3, and we're going to see how they match up against the Sony WF-1000XM4. So this video, we're starting off with the microphone test. So what you're listening to right now is the Sennheiser Momentum 3. I do have a water fountain right in front of me, so that's creating quite a bit of noise. We also have a few cars just in the distance, so hopefully this is a pretty decent test. So now let's go ahead and switch over to the Sony WF-1000XM4. All right, so now we've switched over to the Sony WF-1000XM4. Again, we got the fountain going right in front of us, a good amount of cars passing in the background. So we should be able to see how well these are able to cancel out background noises. So do me a favor, let me know in the comments which one you think sounds the best. Personally, I think I lean towards the Momentum 3 as far as the microphone quality, but that's just me. So let's go ahead and jump into a brief physical comparison, starting off with the charging cases. So the Sony case is the more compact of the two, but overall, I don't think you're really going to have any issues in terms of portability when it comes to either option. Also, both cases do have you covered as far as wireless charging. With the Momentum 3, that is one of the upgrades that you're getting if you're coming from the Momentum 2. Moving over to the earbuds, the Sonys do appear to be a little bit larger than the Momentum 3, which does impact how they fit, especially for me. So we'll talk more about that later. And then also with the Momentum 3, like I touched on in the other video, the addition of that silicone ear fin really makes a difference as far as the fit. Both of these also have in-ear detection, so anytime you remove one of the earbuds from your ear, your music will automatically pause. As far as the touch controls, I have to give the slight advantage to the Momentum 3 because they give you literally all of your controls. So you have your play and pause, your track controls, your volume controls, your ambient sound control, as well as your voice assistant. With the XM4s, you can get really close to having all of your controls. So you can have your playback controls, your volume controls, and your voice assistant, but then you would be missing out on your ambient sound control. And then if you want ambient sound control, you could swap it out for one of the other groups of functions, but then you would be missing out on those. So again, I have to give the slight advantage to the Momentum 3 because you can control everything without having to reach for your phone. So as far as the specs, both of these are running Bluetooth 5.2 on the Sennheiser. When it comes to audio codecs, we have SBC, AAC, aptX, as well as aptX Adaptive. And then with the XM4, we have SBC, AAC, as well as LDAC. Also, both of these do have you covered as far as independent use. So if you want to use either the left or the right while the other remains inside of the charging case, you can do that. In my previous video on the Momentum 3, I did misspeak and say that you had independent use with both the Momentum 2 and the Momentum 3 when it's actually only the Momentum 3. So that is one of the upgrades that you're getting if you're coming from the Momentum 2 to the Momentum 3. As far as battery life, the XM4s do have the advantage with an advertised maximum battery life of 12 hours. Now that is going to be with basically all of the advanced features turned off, but comparing it to the maximum battery life of the Momentum 3, which is 7 hours, the XM4s do have the advantage. And then when it comes to water resistance, both of these feature an IPX4 sweat and water resistant rating. Now, when it comes to the fit, like I mentioned earlier, the Momentum 3 do seem to be a little bit smaller than the XM4, which does help out tremendously, at least for me because I have smaller ears. And then once you add in that silicone ear fin, it makes a huge difference as far as locking them into place compared to the XM4. Now, if you have regular size ears, medium to large size ears, it might not make a huge difference, but no matter what size ears you have, I think the Momentum 3 do get the advantage as far as fit because that silicone ear fin is going to give you more grip overall. So let's go ahead and jump into the sound quality. So there's really no way around it. The Sennheiser Momentum 3 sound noticeably better compared to the XM4. You're definitely getting more in terms of bass. You're getting more in terms of volume, and the overall sound is just much more dynamic. And even though you have access to customizable EQ within the Sony Headphones Connect app, you just can't get close to what you're able to achieve as far as sound when it comes to the Sennheisers. So there's really no reason to get super analytical as far as the comparison here. The sound quality simply sounds better on the Momentum 3. Now, when it comes to the active noise cancellation, that actually threw me for kind of a loop, because when I first got the Momentum 3, I was just testing them out indoors and I was testing the ANC, and for a second, it almost sounded stronger than the XM4. Now, granted, the only thing I was really testing it against was, the appliances in my home, my HVAC system, things like that. But once I got outdoors and really put them to the test in an environment where there was actual more noise to cancel out, the XM4s definitely do have the advantage. So the ANC is improved on the Momentum 3 compared to the Momentum 2, but it's still not quite on the level of Sony or Bose for that matter. And then as far as the ambient mode, you're getting pretty similar performance from both options. So if you use ambient mode quite a bit, honestly, I don't think either of these outshines one versus the other. So I think no matter which way you go, you are going to be pleased. So that's my take on the Sennheiser Momentum True Wireless 3 versus the Sony WF-1000XM4. If I only had to choose one, for me personally, it would probably be the Momentum 3, because for me, they have a better fit, better sound quality, and even though the ANC isn't quite on the level of the XM4, it's pretty dang good and it's enough for me to live with. So if you're interested in either of these, make sure you check out the links down in the description. It does help support the channel anytime you use those links to make purchases. Also, if this video was helpful, make sure you give it a thumbs up, as well as consider subscribing to the channel. You can also follow me on social media at CEO in the Making. And aside from that, as always, I'll see you guys in the next one.